Hi guys, it's Zahid here from Abbey Property in Luton, and I've been asked a lot of questions which I'm getting asked on a frequently basis, so I'm going to be answering as many of them as possible in this video. What are landlords doing in order to make sure they're getting rental income on a monthly basis? It's good and well having a tenant inside the property, but if they're not looking after it and they're not paying you rent on time, it's completely pointless. It's a liability instead of being an asset. One of the most fundamental things that you can do when putting a tenant inside a property is referencing them. Very, very important. You look at the pay slips and you look at the bank statements as well, and you run a credit check on the tenant when you move them into the property. Now, these are very simple things that you should be able to easily do without the help of anyone else. If you do need the help of someone else, speak to a local letting agent that will be able to very easily and thoroughly reference your tenants before moving them into the property. When selecting a tenant, make sure you don't go with the first tenant that just comes to you straight away. It's really important to find a tenant that has a secure job, and it's not just a temporary job that they've started a month ago and it's a temporary contract. Make sure they've been either there for a while or they've got a good long-term contract. That's first thing. Secondly, make sure you look at how the tenant comes across when you are meeting them at the property to do the viewing and showing them around. Look at all the questions that they're asking you, look at the way they're conducting themselves in front of you as well, and also see how they're behaving with other tenants that are coming around to see the property. Are they putting them off? Are they saying negative stuff about the property whilst they're in front of other tenants, or saying positive stuff to you when they're in front of you? It doesn't highlight positive behavior, and that could possibly be causing you problems in the future. So it's not just a credit check that's important, or the employment check that's important, or the landlord reference from the previous landlord. These small behaviors are indicators of how tenants are likely to behave when they are inside your property, and how they are likely to be with you when it comes to looking after the property and paying your rent on time. Second thing that you can put in place is rental insurance. Us as a company, we have a very simple rule. The income of the tenant has to be 2.5 times the rental amount. So for simple maths, let's say the property is £1,000. The tenant's income needs to be at least £2,500 on a monthly basis. Now, what this allows us to do is, when we get our referencing done externally using a third party, as long as they qualify and their income is above that and they pass all the credit checks, employment checks, landlord reference, and these kind of checks, they automatically qualify for rental insurance. Now, we offer rental insurance to all of our landlords, so any letting agent that you're dealing with, make sure they are able to offer you rental insurance on the tenants that they are putting into your property. Now, whether you take up the rental insurance or not, that's besides the point. The most important thing is that they qualify. Because if they don't qualify for rental insurance, then that is something to be concerned about, because you need to think about, why does this tenant not qualify for rental insurance? So if you do decide to take on the rental insurance policy, assess it, check it out for maybe 1 year, and then after that decide what your relationship is like with the tenant. And then if you decide not to renew thereafter, that's entirely up to yourself. But I always recommend, for the first year, take out rental insurance policy, and that should mitigate any risks of not getting rent from a new tenant.